In this video, I will reveal the 3 steps you should take to apply to this $3,500 grant. If just one of these steps are missed, it will dramatically hurt your chances of taking home this grant. If you're new to grants, grants are debt-free funding, which means that you don't have to pay the money back. And so when you compare grants to other traditional types of funding, like business credit and loans, grants look a lot better and are worth the time of applying. And so the opportunity to get money for your business without having to pay back the principal or even pay back interest makes grants worth the time investment. And so when it comes to how you can find grants, you have a couple of options. You can find grants through large organizations, think Walmart and Amazon, or you can get it from nonprofit organizations. And so the grant sponsoring this $3,500 is an amazing nonprofit that has been helping small business owners for over 8 years. And I need you to believe that there are a ton of grants available and that I truly know there is a grant out there with your name on it. You just got to do these 3 steps consistently to take home $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, even $1 million is on the table when it comes to grant money. And so the first step I've seen successful business owners do when it comes to applying to grants is prepare. So within the preparation step, the first priority is developing a winning mindset. This is the strong belief that you will win a grant. You just got to put in the reps. And so each grant that you apply for will get you closer and closer to your next or your first win. And so you need to believe that in your heart to make the time worth it. And this grant right here that I'm sharing is 30 seconds. But if you believe that it's not worth your time, you won't even put in that 30 seconds to fill out the application. The second priority is creating a grantable business. By grantable business, I mean having some structure in place to show the grant judges that you are serious about your business. And one of the most important steps that communicates professionalism is setting up an LLC. And so an LLC stands for a limited liability company. This is an official entity that you set up with your Secretary of State that legally separates you as an individual from your business. This is a huge step that I highly recommend serious business owners do in order to communicate that they are dedicated to their business and in it for the long haul. And if you're unsure how to set up an LLC, a business formation company will take care of the process for you. I personally use Zen Business as my formation company, and you can find more details about them and how you can win a $5,000 grant with them in the description below. And so once you have the LLC in place, the next priority should be opening up a business checking account, as it's very important to have a home for all the money that your business will be making. Plus, the grant sponsors need a place to send the grant funds, and they're not going to be sending a business grant to your personal account. Instead, they're going to want to send it to a business checking account. And one of the best fintech platforms for business owners who need funding is Bluevine, as they give you access to business credit cards, business lines of credit, and SBA loans. And so you can easily open up a business checking account with them. The application should take less than 10 minutes, and I've left a link in the description below for easy access. And so if you have these steps already done, or you plan on completing these steps, I'm really proud of you, as this is creating a very strong foundation so that you can not only win this grant, but you can win higher ticket grants as well, like $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, or $100,000. And so it's very important to create a strong foundation. If you want more details on how exactly you can create a grantable business, I've created a free grant checklist, which walks you through the entire grant application so that you're not surprised by any steps that come up. And you can access this free checklist by clicking the link in the description below. Moving on to step 2, which is research. This is where you're going to get to know all you need to know about the grant sponsor. And so before you fill out and apply to a grant, you want to make sure you have a good understanding of the grant sponsor's mission and its values. And so what I found really helpful when it comes to applying to grants is going through the previous winners' bios as well as their websites and social media pages, just so I know what a grant winner looks like for that specific organization, and then how can I get inspired by their profile or their business, and then try to incorporate some of those strategies into my business or into my grant application. And so within this step, it's very important to collect detailed information about the grant sponsor so that you know exactly what they're looking for. One more tip that I would suggest is reading the FAQ section. And so FAQ stands for frequently asked questions. And so there's very helpful information within this section. And so once you feel like you have a good understanding of the grant, you know what the grant judges are looking for, you know who the previous winners are, and you have the scoring criteria, it's now time to apply to the grant. And this $3,500 grant has an application that takes less than 60 seconds to fill out. And so the organization sponsoring this $3,500 grant is Hidden Star. Hidden Star is a 501c3 nonprofit that focuses on helping minority and woman-owned businesses. And the way that they're able to do this is by offering grant funds. And so this $3,500 grant that you can apply to right now is not the only grant that they offer. And so I highly recommend you get connected to Hidden Star, as they offer a ton of resources that are very helpful to business owners. And so the grant application is very straightforward. And now that you've done the first two steps, you're well prepared to apply to this grant. And so it's going to ask you some basic questions like your name, your email, your gender, what status you are in business, and who has referred you. It'd be great if you put Darcy's business, but at the very least, please submit this grant application, because I don't want you to miss your chance of taking home $3,500. And so you have until June 30th to apply to this grant. But if you've done your research, you know that there's a deadline coming up even sooner. And so you do have the opportunity of taking home the 23,000 Galaxy Grant Bundle. And so Hidden Star is giving away $23,000 of resources. And so with this grant bundle, you can get access to grant writers, courses, access to the Hidden Star network, and so much more. Unlike the $3,500 grant, which is free to apply, the Ultimate Grant Bundle does have a cost, but it's not too expensive. And so overall, Hidden Star is a great program to be a part of because they give you access to amazing free resources and community. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and make sure to check out this video right here to open up a business checking account.